Good morning, evening, and afternoon, folks. Welcome back to another Shoutcast. Now, before I start this Shoutcast, I just want to explain what this is. This is a slightly different Shoutcast than usual. Before I start playing the video, what it actually is. Okay, so Teramis came up with this idea, and I've played it a few times on my stream and what have you. Basically, it's a challenge match between two people, and each opponent chooses each other's commanders. So from one side, we'll choose the other commanders, and then it'll switch over, and then the other person will choose the other commanders, and then you've got a short time to make a deck based on those commanders. It's a really interesting format, so let's jump straight into it. This is a match between Ceces and Mik1o, so it should be very interesting. The commander setups look absolutely hilarious, because obviously you're trying to mess over your opponent with these commanders, and oh, it's going to be interesting. So here we go, guys. So there should be Ceces versus Mik1o in a challenge match. I'm not sure if they've done best of 3, but either way, it's still going to be pretty funny. Okay, so we look at the commanders here. Here we go. We've got oh dear, Ceces got a bad bot, walrus, and a vengeful warrior. That's horrible to give someone. And on the other hand, we've got a brings life, secluded constructor, Christmas version of course, and an acolyte of the altar. So these are very interesting commanders. So they're both tri-purity. No one's going to give each other double purity, so they're trying to give them worse. But brings life by Basing isn't too bad a commander. But obviously, because CC potentially chose if Mik1o potentially chose for CC Vengeful Warrior, which gives him DOD, which gives him access to Yuanqi's Wrath. So one Yuanqi's Wrath will take out Mik1o's entire command zone. So there's that as well. Okay, so both of them do exactly the same thing with support drones. It's pretty funny. But obviously the bad bot as well. The bad bot is a completely dead commander for the most part. So this is going to be pretty funny. So he plays out the ramp. CC gave him that, so he might as well play it out. If he does have a Yuanqi's Wrath next turn, then that's going to really, really hurt him. So he plays out another support drone and buffs up the walrus. He does have a Demon of Fear in his hand with the 1 Purity of Aurora, which is very, very nice. So in hand he's got a couple of tracks. I wonder what he's kind of come up. I wonder what both guys have come up with and put in their decks, because there are quite a few options they could have gone for, really. Using the Secluded Constructor, because it is his priority, so even if he does play Yuanqi's Wrath, it's going to save it. So he's buffing it into the Acolyte of the Altar. So that should take out that line. The Vengeful Warrior doing absolutely nothing. I don't even know why he played it out. It did absolutely nothing, because it's one of the worst cards in the game. Straight. So there we go. So he takes out the whole line. And gets ready to start pushing forward. So he's just got the 10 damage one. Obviously he can defend it with the walrus. He could quite easily kill it with just pretty much anything, because it's only got 1 health left right now. It's using it on the track. Okay, so if he does, nope, okay, that was a wasted track. He just plays out a splitter bot. Splitter bots are, as you guys know, so good in just any situation, really. They give you card advantage, everything. So following this, he's just drawn a give him a jetpack and a lightning blast. So okay, he's going to play out a or thinking about it at least. Scouting mission. Scouting missions are always extremely powerful. He's got 2 of them in his hand, so he can play double scouting mission and just kind of go over the top of him. He shouldn't have too much flying defensive play with this, really. Obviously, he might have access to give him a jetpack and potentially some DOD flyers, some spirits and things like that, but it won't be too much. But again, Yuanqi's Wrath could absolutely destroy it without potentially a Luca. So he's got to be careful where he plays this, where he plays those scouting missions. He could make a flying Scraz Young, which would be quite funny. Yeah, and I think he's thinking about it. A flying Scra it's just the image in my head is just wonderful. So he's going to lightning blast that walrus, get rid of it. He's going to attack with the Scraz Young, buff it up so it gains unstoppable and everything. So that should be a nice turn for Mik1o. But again, you don't know what CC is going to be able to do. He does have a splitter bot, which is obviously incredible value wise. And does actually trade evenly, even with a buffed up Scrazyoung, because obviously he creates 2 tokens afterwards and they can both block it and so on and so on. But the Scrazyoung will ultimately beat it in a 1v1 really. So he might defend with that, he might not. He pulls back completely. And it is his priority as well, so here's his priority coming into effect. So he buffs up with Daude's protection. He does hit through with the 16 damage, but that lightning blast whiffs because he buffed up with Daude's protection. That's a really, really good play. Obviously taking full use of your priority. So if you're using buffing effects like that and you're against Furore or DOD or anything with any kind of AoE damage, it's really, really good if you do everything, most things on your priority. Some things are better on off priority, but priority is definitely something if you want to be a good player to become really good. So okay, so he anomalies that, which should reset it back to 0-0, and he will not be able to enrage it again. He tries to give it flying as well, and that flying whiffs also, so that was a good turn for CC. He plays this support drone on the Wealthy Noble, which gives it 3-8. Just hits through for a little bit. So unfortunately that is 10-10. It will not be unstoppable, I don't think, so he's just going to throw it out there. He's got a drop bear, which obviously everyone loves a bit of a drop bear. Drop bear is best played with the full 5 resources. You don't really want to play it out turn 2 with it. You can people do if you don't have anything else to play. You play it out turn 2 and then turn 3 you buff it, but it's a really obvious play. You want to, because it has haste, you want to take full advantage. You want to play it out and buff it, like exactly what he's doing there. So then he plays a split bot of his own, and he does hold one of the flying drones back just in case, and I understand why he's done that. That is a good move. So he puts everything in defense. That spirit kills off both of those flyers. It could have been a lot worse if he'd started buffing into it and everything, but obviously he played the Daude's protection, which had buffed up to 7 health, which just took them out, and it still survived. So he's played the laser cannon. Laser cannon, potentially it could take out all 3 unless he pulls back, which if he has any sense he probably will, but we will see. I'd honestly kind of go potentially all out if that happens, but we'll see what he does. Okay, oh wow, this laser cannon is going to have such value. Oh my god, no, but he played a Zhu Shen. Oh wow, so he played a Zhu Shen, potentially anticipating it, so he did only lose the spirit and the other 2 survived, the Retro Walrus and the small support drone. That's awesome. So now we have a flying walrus, just to give you guys that image in your head. There is a flying walrus. You gotta love it. So he plays out the Demon of Fear, and he leaves enough room to play the Word of Command, which I'm not sure what he's going to play it on, but why not? I would have just kind of... There's not anything else you can really have to push back. You could pull out the Wealthy Noble, I guess, and kill that. So he's going to use the Constructor. He's saving it for the Constructor and buffing it into the Flyer, which makes sense. He could have turned that extra resource just to push back the other Wealthy Noble, just in case. But there's no real need. There is no real need, to be honest. So that's a decent play from the Demon of Fear. Okay, so he's bringing out his own laser cannon there. Just seen him play it. So we'll see what happens here. And obviously it's CC's priority, so okay. He kills that. Pushes everything back and hits home for a decent chunk. Brings him down to 50 health. I love games like this. They're so close because they're not what you're expecting. Because you put on the spot with making this deck. You haven't got hours and hours and days to try and fiddle around with it and fix it. Like it's really fun. I've done this live on stream. It's absolutely hilarious. It's great. So if you have any friends and you want something new to play, try this mode. It's really good fun. So he just buffs that into the drop bear, plays out another scouting mission on his priority. I'd usually play scouting mission on your opponent's priority. The reason being is because if they play Yuan-Shi's Wrath on that turn, you're screwed. Which could be just could be really potent. So he plays out that into attack. That is flying, so I'm not sure why he's done that. It's already an attack anyway. The splitter bot is still alive. So this could be yeah, I don't know why he did that and put it into attack, because he's got nothing to block it with. I suppose actually he did move it into attack because he didn't want the Demon of Fear to get killed. which makes sense. So the Zhu Shen dies as well. The Walrus hits home. Oh, and he look at that draw. Heart of the cards, everybody. Heart of the cards. That Luca draw. Wow. Oh, that Luca draw. So he puts it in. He puts the small flyer in front of the two bigger flyers. Reason being is because he wants to kill that Walrus. Obviously, buff it up to 7, 8. So from the Luca, so it will kill it because it only has 4 health. But that Walrus has been a problem. Making full use of the Walrus. So he is blocking with other stuff just in case. I don't see why at this point, really. I would have drew another card potentially. I know he doesn't have enough resource for it. You don't really need to do that, but it's just playing on the safe side, which is... You can't go wrong with playing on the safe side, can you? Excuse me. So, okay, so he plays a fight. This should be interesting. What's he fighting? He's probably fighting potentially the Demon of Fear. Oh, what? Okay then. He fights off the bad bot. Really? Does that even work? I did not know that worked. Oh, he puts him down to 1 health. Oh, Jesus. Then he pulls the Demon of Fear. This should be GG. This should be GG. Here we go. Pushes everything back. There we go. Just thinks about pushing his own stuff back. Alright then. Just puts everything out there. That should be fine. Unless Ceces has a miraculous mass death out of nowhere, which I don't think he will. That should be GG. So that was a really interesting play. I'll have to look back on that. Because I didn't think fight worked off the bad bot. If it was something else, I do apologise. Okay. So yeah, that should be pretty much it for Mik1o. So Mik1o wins this round, which is really, really good. I love this format. Oh, so he now pulls out the Constructor. Oh, okay. Oh, and he pulls... Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so he plays out the Spirit. And obviously he doesn't push it back. There is still enough to push home. Buffs that into it. If only he'd had a little bit more health. Oh, well. Well, there we go. GG. So there we go, guys. A victory for Mik1o. And that was a close game. I'd advise if you do have games like this where they're playing this mode where you pick each other's commanders and then make a deck from that, please send those in because those are absolutely wonderful to cast. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Again, if you have any more videos, send them to me and I will cast them. And up until then, guys, I will see you on my stream or on my next video. Thank you, guys. Cheers.